Welcome to Lingo Coach Corner. Today we're going to be talking about something super important: how we listen and pick up from Spanish podcasts. Lingo Coach Corner is designed to help Spanish students improve their listening and conversation skills, and it's possible with one-on-one coaching sessions. If you want to learn more about my method, visit lingocoachcorner.com and join my program. Ever wonder why tuning into a Spanish podcast or any other authentic speech is so crucial? Well, it's all about our auditory perception, meaning how we process what we hear. So let's unpack this together and discover some cool tricks to level up your language skills. As you might already know, having a Spanish background sound running is part of adapting to the language. But how do you listen to a podcast in Spanish? What kind of things are part of active learning while listening to a podcast? What should I be aware of? Active listening to a podcast is beyond listening comprehension. I'm going to show you how. Auditory perception plays a crucial role in language learning, as it involves how we process and understand spoken language. But what are the key points regarding auditory perception in language learning? Well, sound discrimination. It's basically to differentiate between different sounds in a language. This includes distinguishing between phonemes, these distinctive sound units that might not exist in your native language, perhaps. So when listening a podcast, you could do the simple exercise as setting the goal of looking for phonemes that are challenging for you and slow down that part to try to imitate the phrase and say the phoneme in context. This will build up a bit of your muscle memory and eventually you will get better at pronunciation. For example, if you're struggling with the R sound in Spanish, the trill like carro or the tap like in caro, then you can listen to a fraction of the target audio and actively look for this sound. By identifying words with a sound, you will sharpen your ability to distinguish and produce the correct sound. Another key point is tone and intonation. Language often conveys meaning through variations in tone and intonation. We need to perceive these subtle differences to understand the nuances of speech, including mood, emphasis, and intent. In Spanish, intonation is very important as we can use the same phrase order and have different intentions or meaning, like ella está aquí. This is a statement that she's here. Or ella está aquí. This becomes a question asking, is she here? Word recognition plays a role. You could try to recognize and comprehend individual words within a stream of speech. This involves identifying familiar words and decoding unfamiliar ones based on their sound patterns. You could set a goal like trying to figure out the subtle difference and uses between mucho and muy, which, by the way, it's a common mistake when learning Spanish, that people tend to say mucho bueno instead of muy bueno, because mucho and muy both translate to a lot. Or looking for the past tense in the audio and paying attention to the melody pattern, like in hablé, habló, comí, comió. Also, sentence parsing is something to be noticed. You could parse sentences into meaningful units such as phrases and clauses. This involves segmenting the continuous stream of speech into discrete chunks and understanding the syntactic structure of sentences. If you know clauses and phrases you would like to include in your style of communication, then you can actively look for those patterns and pick from the context the way they are being used. Things like ojalá, me di cuenta que. So people, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching and remember to leave a comment below. And if you have any other tip you would like sharing with us, just drop a message. Also, keep in mind that I'm offering a free assessment call on my website. Check that out. Ciao!